So we were talking about regulators as innovators, and having the Spanish Bankers Association with Pilar, having a bank with Pablo, and having a government or policy outside perspective from Dan to talk about how regulation can either enable new business model evolution or can actually halt some of the progress that we're trying to make, and the different types of regulators and how an active one actually encourages a very interesting ecosystem that allows for people to test that new business model, and the double-edged sword that comes with being an active regulator versus a passive regulator. So, interesting discussion. I think the trickiest part of RegTech is the fact that it actually will enable compliance to become a proper profit and loss line of business for the bank. But we still haven't gotten to that thought, or we haven't gotten to that accepted notion that when you regulate right and you use technology to enable that it mitigates a lot of the conduct risk and governance and allows compliance to act differently, not as a barrier to creating a new product or launching into new markets, but as actually a service provider within its own institution, and also to the outside lines of business or the outside market. And that evolution from compliance as a hindrance to compliance as a product set is what RegTech is meant to do, but we don't understand it that way, or the conversation isn't being had in the general market. We haven't gotten to the tone yet. So I think it's more of a perception rather than a technology issue. I think regulators have an opportunity to be innovators, yet they also have to react to innovation. Technology moves so quickly that we don't know what the final outcomes will be, so there's always going to be a reactive component to regulation and compliance. On the other hand, when you set a framework that has enough openness and flexibility that it doesn't de-risk the system completely, it still allows for that speculative risk, but it does provide stability, then regulators actually set a level playing field for new market entrants, for the current incumbents. They actually force us to be more creative within the context or with the confines of that. So I think regulation level sets a lot of competition, but it also level sets the opportunity to be creative. So to a certain extent, they enable, and they can be innovators themselves, but they also have to have that ability to react very quickly and to manage something that we don't quite understand yet, which is the outcome of these new business models. So they're kind of both.